Hello everyone, Prime here. The Mayans have arguably the most ambiguous pantheon in Smite, and a lot of the things that we have for the mythology in Smite are very much catered to the universe of Smite. Whilst we don't know a lot about the pantheon in comparison to a lot of others in Smite, we do know that there were several types of giants in the pantheon. Giants who were demons came packed with the monstrous strength that you would expect from beings of their stature. Their imposing physiques made them all the more threatening, as demons have that terrible tendency of feasting on or otherwise brutalizing people. Whilst not all of them actively sought out human life, I've yet to come across a story about a demon who did not present some sort of harm, potential threat, or direct pain towards humans. As such, a giant demon would have been at the top of the Mayan people's to-be-feared list. However, that doesn't mean that all giants were respected beings, as proven by Zapukna. Despite that fact, he did kill some 400 people in one go, so that lack of respect proved itself to be silly. However, there are less volatile giants in Mayan mythology. It was said that Chak had demigod followers known as the Chakab, or Chakop, who aided him in the control of the weather from each of the four cardinal directions. They may have been humans or dwarves, but also giants, and may have been invoked by warrior kings or tribal leaders for the virtues of Chak, the warrior. As such, these giants would have been respected for their connection to Chak, more so than how fearsome they may have been. The Smite was a hairy, tall creature, very similar to Bigfoot, though no physical evidence of the creature has been found. He spans Mayan and Indian folklore. In Mayan mythology, the beast is said to scream so loudly that the sound could be heard for miles past mountains and villages, striking fear into locals. Despite this gift, Smite cannot speak human languages. Sisi is considered to be a guardian of nature and will attack hunters or dangerous people to protect wildlife that surrounds its natural home. Sisi is a bipedal creature whose diet is unknown, considering that it defends wildlife. I'd say it eats vegetation much like real-world gorillas, but that's just a bit of speculation on my part. Also, like some gorillas, Sisi might feast on types of insects such as termites and ants. In Indian folklore, Sisi is known to abduct locals for breeding purposes or general companionship. Sisi's gender is not specified, and so men and women could have been taken. However, it is also known to abduct people to cure illnesses or wounds with mystical powers. If Sisi were to ever be in Smite, the Guardian role would be perfect for him. He could have a shield ability that would work similar to a Geb shield that would restore HP equal to the amount of the remaining shield when the duration ends. Consider that to be a bit like an Odin shield, but instead of damage it would heal. Because of the fact that he's a giant, he'd of course have some sort of brute force style skills such as a barge, a shunt, similar to Hercules' push. And of course he was said to live in mountain ranges. If he took one step he could cover a great distance, so perhaps he could have a skill relating to this in which he takes a step and it covers just a great distance. That would be some sort of getaway skill or engagement skill. His ultimate, of course, would be his scream, that silences and cripples enemies whilst increasing his allies' penetration values and doing a decent amount of damage. His ultimate also improves his shield and movement skills, giving his allies his leap, meaning his leap would go on cooldown for him but his allies could get a getaway, also allowing the shield ability to target multiple allies but bestow a weaker heal. I think this would be nice because it might give some relevance to a character like Artemis or AMC who lack movement skills, so it might be cool. But moving on to one of the mysteries of Smite, who or what exactly is this siege beast? If you don't know what I'm talking about, in the Siege map, there exists a creature in the center of the map called a wild juggernaut. You can see that when you eventually slay this beast, Mayans ride it into battle, and it's usually used to destroy towers quite easily. The Aztecs were bold people, and in their art, they have fought giants. The Quinametsin giants ruled the earth eras ago, and they were faithful to the gods. They built the sacred city Teotihuacan, place where men become gods, and other invaluable locations. When Spanish soldiers first entered America, they were met with real giants. A giant hero, Tizlacatzin, aided the Aztecs to defend their home against the foreign invaders. Catzin threw stones at the Spanish armies and crushed them. It was also said that by the time of the Spanish invasion, giants made their peace with the Aztecs and lived among them in peace. As for the Quinametzin specifically, Quetzalcoatl personally dealt with them, bringing an end to their race. So I think most likely the Quinametzin is the type of giant that we see in the Mayan Siege map. I think it's quite an interesting parallel, if it really is, between real-life mythology and Smite's mythology, because of course, as I said, originally the Quinametzin were enemies of the Aztecs, and then eventually they joined forces with the Aztecs to defend their homeland, but also to live in peace. And once you defeat the wild juggernaut, what does it do? It spawns to your side of the map and tries to help you defeat the enemy team by crushing their towers and objectives. After all, it's said that the best defense is a good offense. Overall, though, Mayan giants seem to have been respected and even helpful beings, though most seem to have operated best when not disturbed, such as Cabrakan and Sisi, who also do not seek to actively harm humans without a real reason. In fact, these beings seemed as though they could have been potential allies of humanity if approached by the right person with the right intentions. After all, the Quinametzin proved that they did eventually ally with the Aztecs. How exactly this happened, or what exactly went down, if there are any specific circumstances or reasons for this peace between the Aztec people and these very specific types of giants, I'm not too sure, but they did establish some sort of peace. Beings like the Chakab were more directly helpful to humanity, and if invoked or worshipped, could provide people with the virtues of Chak, the actual god. That's not to say that the Mayan giants were all friendly. Zapakna, for instance, removed several men at once from the world after they tried to end him. To the Mayans, these giants were not invincible, nor immortal, but perhaps seen as menaces that could be dealt with by men. Additionally, there were also giants who, by their very nature, were a threat to humanity, though the Mayans still acknowledged that such giants were immensely more powerful than any humans as individuals. I hope that you found this one interesting. I definitely found out some new things whilst researching this one, more so than usual. If you did enjoy the video, go ahead and leave a like, I'd really appreciate it, and it does of course help the video and channel grow. If you want to see more content just like this, you only need to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And until the next video, have a very good day. I have been Prime, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Another one? Yeah, another one. These guys just got shot.